From Central Indiana's #1 news source, this is Fox 59 Tonight.
Hey, good evening. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Fox 59 Tonight. I'm Cameron Little. We appreciate you downloading our new smart TV app on your Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and now on Samsung. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss any of the conversations we have every night at 8 o'clock here on Fox 59 Tonight. We will be talking about a personal topic today with the co-host of today's episode. She is back after doing a fantastic job. When we talked about dating last week, that's a conversation that shall continue. But back in the studio today to talk about the journeys, the trials, the difficulties, and the fun of weight loss. Deja Stuttered of The Deep Dive with Deja, a show coming soon to a standalone program near you here on Fox 59. Now, Deja, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm here to talk about something that is deeply personal. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about weight loss forever over and over and over and over again. Oh my goodness.
Well, it's something that I've gone through, and it's weird. I don't know if it was weird is the right term to describe it, but because I'm on TV,
Mm-hmm.
you can see every time my weight goes
Oh,
up or down. And so especially if I go back and look at old clips or,
no.
stuff pops up and it's like, oh man, I was really good right there. And then I was like, oh, that's when we started to go back up a little bit.
You
So
know.
I've been bigger. I've been smaller. Right now I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm trying to go back down. But I've done a whole segment on TV about my weight loss journey, how I lost uh, 20 pounds in 40 days. I did that when I was in Arizona. Um, and I was in really great shape. And I held on to that for several years. But the weight that I've got now only popped up about a year ago, a year and a half ago when my wife got pregnant. And so when she would eat,
Oh, okay.
I would eat. Because she'd be like, hey, I want some country kitchen. And she'd be like, you want something? I'm like, yeah, go ahead and give me some of them smothered pork chops and my fried green tomatoes. And then later, we'd eat that, and then she'd be like, so I'm hungry. I'm gonna order some tacos. You want some?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give me three. Give me three pork
Oh no. But at least you have pregnancy to blame your
Correct. However,
weight loss, weight gain on.
Junior's about to be 1 now, so I don't know how much longer I can use that excuse.
You could still use that
Okay.
excuse until he starts walking. I know. But every time, like a Facebook memory pops up, it's
Mm-hmm.
like it haunts me a little bit because I remember the time just like you, I've gone up, I've gone down. I've had major success when I used to work out at Orange Theory
Mm-hmm.
and I lost a lot of weight when I was working there. But I used to work at the state and I used to walk a little bit more. I didn't have a car back then. And so I used to exercise. That was what I would do for fun.
Mm-hmm.
But now,
Mm-hmm.
now I pull up right to the door. I walk in. I sit down. I plop down for like 8 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't even move.
Mm-hmm.
And so weight loss, my weight has crept up and up and up and up, but then it's also gone down after I started taking the shots.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all these different moments and steps that I've had in the process.
Mm-hmm.
But even now on the shots, I've hit a bit of a plateau,
Mm-hmm.
if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that for some people, when they think of like the GLP-1 shots, which I'm on Zepbound, and I think that when people think about them, they think that you're just going to just lose weight and just going to keep losing weight, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the way it's going to happen. But as it turns out, you have to do your part.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. At least I think I'm assuming you do
Mm-hmm.
because it's been about a month and I haven't, and I've still taken the shot.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't lost an ounce. But I also I haven't gained too much, so that's the good thing for me is that I haven't gained too much in that,
Again, you're on a plateau.
and I'm on a plateau, but I haven't gone to work out at all, and I haven't been eating healthy. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I got today's August 25th,
Mm-hmm.
and my birthday's September 25th. Big
It's my
birthday.
sister's birthday as well.
Nice,
So happy
nice.
birthday.
And so that'll be in a month. And so I'm like, oh, hey, you know how it is. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, what can I do
Mm-hmm.
now to speed up the process
Mm-hmm.
and to lose a little bit before my birthday? And so here comes the fad diets. Welcome to the door. And so I pulled up I got my Atkins,
Okay.
my protein shake this morning. I
Mm-hmm.
had
Okay.
a fiber bar. I made a mistake when I was in college of I used to be on the Ball State hospitality team
Okay.
and for dance marathon. Um, and they had some food to give away at the end, and they gave us a box of fiber bars. And I'm a college student, don't have a lot of money, so I was just like, "This is gonna be my meal for the
Mm-hmm.
next day or two." And I got to tell you, don't have that happen. Don't eat a box of fiber
Did
bars.
you find out what happens when you do
Yeah,
that?
I did find out what
Mm-hmm.
happens. You're gonna spend way too much time in the
Mm-hmm.
bathroom, and I got a personal experience, hands-on. I
Mm-hmm.
really got to figure out what happens when you eat too much fiber.
Mm-hmm.
I will say you will lose weight.
Uh-huh.
So if that is one mechanism, that is one way you can go about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've done a lot of weird fat diets in my time.
Mm-hmm.
I've done one time I lost a lot of weight. I did a smoothie diet, so
Okay.
only had smoothies. I've done ice cream diet, only ice cream.
Okay.
You
And
will
and
lose
and
weight if you do that.
yeah, but you had success.
I had success. Only cereal, soup. It's success, but it's the bad part about it. Of course, when you do something kind of bizarre like that, is you will soon probably have failure again.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably and it's a journey, I think, and
Mm-hmm.
I've accepted the reality that I think your weight fluctuates throughout life.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that I don't think you should just eat soup for a month straight.
Right. So
But
so I did one. It was similar to a keto diet, but it wasn't a keto diet. Or
keto is fantastic.
the one I did in Arizona, you weren't really supposed to work out, so I didn't, and it was successful. I lost, and you could see like in 2 months, and
I'm
you could
shocked
see
by
me on
that.
TV. You could see how much weight I was losing.
Yeah.
But you were supposed to have like um, no sugars, no oils, um, no fats, but you could have meat. So I could have a steak because it's protein. If you eat the good part of the steak and a certain ounce amount of steak, you have to have that for dinner. And then the next night you couldn't do if I did a steak on Monday, then Tuesday you had to do like fish,
Really?
grilled, or I think it had to be baked because no
Okay.
oils. If you're grilling, it's oils. So you weren't even really supposed to put like oils in like your hair care products and lotions because it has oil in it that you're putting when you put it on your skin. It's going into your body.
What?
Yeah,
I've never heard that.
yeah.
That's
Um,
bizarre.
I still did a little. I mean, I did still did my lotions and
Yeah,
stuff
I get
because
to
I'm
put
like,
on lotion. I get to put some oil in my hair.
right,
You know what I'm talking about?
right. Like I'm on TV, so
I've never heard that before.
I gotta
And I've heard a
obvious.
lot of weight loss stuff.
Yeah, I mean it works,
Well, yeah.
and I made go do it again. So I did a story about
That's
it.
extreme.
It
That's
was
extreme.
actually, but it wasn't that bad. So I did a story
But
on
oils
it.
on your skin and stuff like that.
Yes, which again I skipped that part,
Yeah.
and it still worked. Now, um, I had to work more in other places to overcome that part
Sure.
because you're supposed to you're depriving your body of certain things so it burns what it has.
Yeah.
But again, I still did get to eat good. I have a thing for cereal. I love cereal. I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Apple
Mm,
Jacks,
yeah.
Captain Crunch.
Yeah. Now,
Um,
are you drinking regular milk?
no,
Okay.
because my stomach
Yeah,
does
I was
not.
like, now see.
Mm-mm. I do lactate milk.
Okay.
Um, but all that I had to cut out. And so during this diet, I was just heavy protein and you're drinking a lot of water. You're supposed to drink half of your body weight in water per day. So um, at the time, I was I think I was like 240.
Yeah. 245 is what it said in the clip. If
Okay,
you know that.
245. Glad you remember. Um, and then I lost that. So I did get down almost. I got to like 222.
Hmm.
And then I kind of like mellowed out my
Fast too.
for yes, and I would kind of stay there between 220 and 230. And either way, I was good. I was, I'm good with that kind of weight fluctuation. Um, so that was one that worked, and I would consider doing it again.
Keto worked for me very, very well. And
Mm-hmm.
like that, even if for me, I never went as extreme in the sense of, I don't know that I ever really cared to be in ketosis,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just about, no sugar and cutting that out, and then high protein. That was
Yep.
mostly what my focus was. And what also worked for me during that time, where I really lost a lot of weight, I was at Orange Theory in the YMCA at the time. I was working out every single day. But what really did it for me, honestly, was when I was meal prepping.
Mm-hmm.
I was still meal prepping keto, but I had like or keto light,
Mm-hmm.
I had all of like my jars set out. I had them for the week, and I had like 3 a day, which kind of fizzles out. I wouldn't suggest doing them all at once,
Mm-hmm.
because by the time you get to about Thursday or Wednesday, even, they
Mm-hmm.
kind of get a little dry,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not as fresh as what it used to be. But for me, meal prepping with the boxes was the most one of the most helpful things that I did throughout my time. And I that's what I feel like I need to get back to the most, because I eat out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the other day, like last week, I went to Longhorn. I mean, for lunch, it was only $8, but it came with like a loaf of bread. It was a chicken sandwich. It was a sweet potato. That's too much for lunch, and it's too heavy for lunch, and it's too
Mm-hmm.
many carbs for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And also, for me, it costs a lot more money, even when I'm buying a lunch special, to eat out than it does to meal prep.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like multiple advantages with meal prepping for me, but keto, definitely my most impactful thing. I actually would say that eating healthy and eating for weight loss was the most instrumental thing for me. But probably beside your belief system.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, like, for me, like, believing that it can happen and believing that I can lose weight, because when you've gone through this kind of yo-yo so much, you kind of, or at least I have kind of been like, maybe this is just the way that it always is.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that my belief system remains the most important, my food next, and then exercise, I would say, is third.
What motivates you to want to lose weight?
Oh, man, that's like the $1,000,000 question.
See, because for
Cause
me, again, I'm on camera every day, so I can see it.
yeah,
Um, and then I'm also driving. I drive my bus every day, and when
sure.
I'm going over all these bumps.
Hmm.
I feel, I feel all this jiggling, and I'm like, no, we got. Oh, I don't like that. It's making this even worse. So I think for the most part, it's like from my own, like, because I'm not a person who cares
Yeah,
too much what other people say.
yeah,
But then you buy suits, which humble brag, but when you get them tailored to your body,
yeah,
it fits your body then.
yeah,
And so if I get a suit tailored when I'm smaller and then I keep gaining weight, the suits don't fit
yeah.
because I had them tailored. So again, it's all like stuff for me, my own reasons. What about you?
So when I was younger, when I started working out, at like 22, 20, well, I might have been like 24, 5, whatever. I cared about like the attention piece. Like it was just like, I want to look my best. I want the guys to like me. I want to be the baddest in the room. But
Mm-hmm.
but over time, that just shifted for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like today, like I don't care about that. Getting attention from a guy. Like that just doesn't. It just
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter to me in the capacity that it did when I was in my early or mid 20s versus my late 20s. Like it just,
Mm-hmm.
like, whatever, attention from a guy, pish posh. For me, what motivates me is number one, I think more than anything, and this used to be, I was on Weight Watchers for a while. This was in my Weight Watchers profile. It's like I just wanted to prove to myself that I could do it
Mm-hmm.
because it was a challenge for me, and it was probably the hardest challenge that I've had in my life. It's a daily thing. It feels like sometimes everything that you put in your mouth or every time you decide to move or not move, it makes a difference. Like every choice you make seems like, or a lot of choices that you make seem like it contributes to your weight loss or weight gain. And so for me, it was just proving to myself that I could do this,
Mm-hmm.
that I could overcome this. Now, I think that that's also an element that still exists, but I just want to be my healthiest, and I want to show up as my healthiest and at my best, because remember, like when I was doing like this stuff in the early days at Orange Theory and the YMCA, I don't even really think that, even though that was like peak fitness for me and I was running like 6 miles a day, I don't believe that that was even my best because I was overtraining. I think
Mm-hmm.
I was doing far too much, which then led to a rebound and, weight gain. And so I think that for me, I want to come from a space of, oh, I love my body.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to work out because I want to experience the best that I can within myself. And I want to give my life the best that I can give it, my job the best I can give it, my family, my friends, the people around me, myself. I want to give myself the best. And one way to do that is when I get my rest days in and I get my rest in and I
Mm-hmm.
and I eat healthy and I do all the things. Now, granted, that's easier said than done, and it sounds really good because
Mm-hmm.
most days I prefer to just have a chocolate chip cookie.
Mm-hmm.
But then that backfires in its own way. So that would be what has been the most important thing for me by a mile.
What about um? So what about working out?
Working out.
So last year, so
What about it?
when so the first time I lost weight, that was like 2019, 2018, something like that.
Okay.
And I
Same.
maintained pretty good. I
Okay.
gained COVID.
That's
Uh,
what got me.
yeah,
What got
it's
me
got
was
everybody.
COVID. Dagnabbit.
That's what got
But
everybody.
some no, because some people lost weight in COVID.
Well, yeah, but for
There were
that
people who like had that like serious success.
Peloton and
Yeah,
all that stuff.
exactly.
But they're not even around anymore, so that didn't really last. Um, but after that, I did. That's when I came back here. So that had been 2022 when I came to Fox. Um, and I was doing actual working out. I was working out with a personal trainer, Mike Ford. And I lost lots of weight again. I was good. I was in good shape too. I was looking good. Um,
Yeah.
all the way up until she got pregnant.
Okay.
And maybe that's why she got pregnant because I was looking
Oh,
good.
don't say that. Don't
Hey,
say
hey, look, man, Um, and then that's when I went back up again. So I've done it both ways. I've done the non-working out way with uh the diet program and the eating and stuff, but then I've also done the personal trainer way. What about you?
And well, I've done it all the ways, a lot of separate ways. Sometimes I feel like I'm out of ways to do it because I feel like I've done so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, now that I have more bills than when I did when I was younger, all that stuff is expensive
Mm-hmm.
and it adds up. But I wonder what it would look like if, because typically I've done it separately.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that. And I wonder what it would look like if I had all of them together. Like if I went at full power, 100%, I had a personal trainer, I had a dietitian, I was logging my meals
Mm-hmm.
because I log on like Noom. Now I log on Noom. Sometimes anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But before I did Weight Watchers, so I've kind of shifted from Weight Watchers to Noom. So, there have been a lot of different things, but one thing that gets me is the expense because a personal trainer, Noom, all of these things,
Are not free.
they are not free. And I have here I paid $150 for leggings because when I was at Orange Theory,
Mm-hmm.
everyone kept suggesting, they were like Lululemon leggings, Lululemon leggings, Lululemon leggings. And I went there and I was like $150.
Mm-hmm.
And I left there, and not only did I have the leggings, but I got a job. And
Okay.
because I was like, I need to get a job. I had a full-time job, but I was like, I needed to get a job, and so I started working at the place next to Lululemon. It was called
Mm-hmm.
Aveda. It's still there. But I need to find the right workout gear too, and then it
Mm-hmm.
makes me feel like, oh, I need to have Adidas, I need to have Nike, because I want to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good thing. And what I have liked about going to the gym is, and I need to get back in this space, is finding a sense of community. And when I used to do hip hop dance with Sco Nixon, a local uh, gym here,
Mm-hmm.
and there was such a great sense of solidarity.
Mm-hmm.
Even like when you talk to, I did F45 for a while, solid core for a while. I mean, I could go on and on.
Mm-hmm.
And there's such a strong sense of solidarity and community of people who it's like they want to find that thing. And
Mm-hmm.
so you know what? That's one of the most important things about it too. Have you found a community where you have felt like these people are lifting me up? You know, I think
Mm,
I want to join a group here.
I never had everything I've done has been on my own. There was never a group
Yeah.
thing about it. So
Maybe that could change the landscape for you.
maybe, really all I need is time. I just need some time. And everybody says you can always make time to go to the gym. And I was like, okay.
No, no, not if you work. I still work from that Aveda. I still work two jobs now because
Mm-hmm.
I just transferred from Aveda to Mac, and now
Mm-hmm.
I work at Mac,
Mm-hmm.
and I work here. And so I feel like it's not all like you may not always have time.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that I still fight for. And so what people will say is to that is you have to find ways to like exercise
Mm-hmm.
within the day.
Right.
And when I was at the state, I used to do that. Now the state was a state, and the
Mm-hmm.
state wasn't super strict in terms of time and everything like that. But I would walk around the state when I was committed and maybe a
Mm-hmm.
little crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I would walk around the state with weights, and I would just lift them,
Mm-hmm.
and people would look at me, and they would see me doing this, and they would just give me advice, and they
Mm-hmm.
would give me tips, and they would tell me that they're
Mm-hmm.
inspired by me. So sometimes maybe just starting where you are,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe you just start right here in the newsroom.
Mm-hmm.
Just start
Maybe.
doing there was a guy that used to work here. He would just do squats, in the middle to get some blood work
Mm.
through his
Mm-hmm.
legs throughout the day. So maybe it's a little bit about starting where you are
Right.
too.
Well, Birchelle's got that thing, or she's got
Oh,
like a treadmill at her
now
desk.
that costs a little money. That's anchor money right there.
Well,
Wait a second,
that's true.
because I thought about getting one of those,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like
Then you went to Amazon and you found out the
yeah, I
price.
said, well, wait, whoa, paying a few $100s for this, and
Uh-huh.
they also have a weight limit.
Mm.
So, like, a lot of them are like, 175.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't be over 175 for some of and obviously, if it has a higher weight limit, it costs
Costs
more
more.
money. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
well, maybe I need to hit their weight limit before
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
before I invest in this, because I'm afraid of buying something like that is I bought a lot of toys over the years. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you remember the shake weight.
Yep.
I had an Oculus, a
Mm-hmm.
Meta, and then I have a treadmill. I had a bike, and these things just become coat racks
Mm-hmm.
after a while. And so now I'm in a space where I'm like, if I get this, am I going to use it currently?
Right.
Don't ask why. I have a boxing ring.
Mm. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I
Like a
just,
whole boxing ring?
no, not a whole boxing ring. I should say a few punching bags,
Okay.
a few of them.
Okay.
And so that is where my fad is now. And I really like that. It helps me to release some stress. And so what I'm trying to do is I've cleared off the treadmill. The
Mm-hmm.
treadmill's cleared off. I got a TV in front of it. I got my punching bags
Mm-hmm.
and everything set up. And so now I have to use it. And so that is what is key for me for right now.
How do you celebrate. So like when I was on that weight loss thing, you have to go to you do the stuff on your own, but each week you'd have to come back into the doctor's office once a week so they can check your progress and they check your biorhythms and
Oh,
all these different things. So you,
that's like Weight Watchers.
yes,
Yeah.
so you had to
At
check in.
a higher intense scale. But Weight Watchers was like you would go in and you would check your weight and they'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
if you,
I'd be like, and some weeks they'd be like, "Man, you are killing it! Like, what are you
yeah,
doing?" And other weeks it's like, "Man, you lost 2 pounds. Like, you should have
you're doing
lost
terrible.
more than that." And it's like, "Hey, man, it was a tough week this week."
Yeah.
Um, but so, and they would always say what they would tell us was, it's also let me clarify. It wasn't just about the scale and how much you lost, because they could also when they put your hands on this biorhythm thing,
Sure.
and it could see how much water you had in your body, and it was measuring the fat and the muscle,
It's
the
like an
whole thing.
in-body scan.
Yes. And so it wasn't always about. Sometimes you're like, well, yeah, you only lost 2 pounds. That's because you gained a bunch of muscle this week.
Yeah.
And so it's like you lost weight, you lost fat, and you gained muscle. So don't worry about the number fluctuating too much. So they would always say, don't be too discouraged when you look at the scale. There's lots of stuff
It's
happening.
hard.
But there are other ways you can reward yourself and find ways of progress. Like I noticed that I would sleep better. Like, and I was doing that on the morning show, the dreaded morning show where I'm going to sleep at 8, 9 o'clock, and I'm waking back up at 2, and they'd always be like, "You got to sleep more." I'm like, "Yeah, well, it's hard to do," but I was sleeping better, so those were wins of losing weight and weight loss, working out. Because you get home, all right, take this shower, I'm out. Good night.
I've always been able to sleep well.
Mm-hmm.
So that hasn't been a issue for me. But you know what has been is when I reward myself is that I've been like, I want to reward myself with more food. And then
Mm.
I reward myself and I'm like, oh, you know what? I can have Dairy Queen this week because
Yes,
I
because I
just
killed it
could,
this week.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I tell you what I started to do was I would buy shoes, which is a good, if a good supplement until you have several hundred,
Mm-hmm.
and then until you need to go get storage. And so I think it's, when it comes to celebrating
Mm-hmm.
and when it comes to victories, it's like you got to keep it in check, I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
because the victory is ultimately your health
Correct.
in terms of like sleeping better, that is the ultimate victory and kind of like that after picture and that
Mm-hmm.
after moment is the successful
Mm-hmm.
part about it. But of course, first you have to get there. And so I think celebrating the small wins
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, not always focusing on the scale
Mm-hmm.
and instead focusing on, you know what, I did this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like a couple of weeks ago, I finally got back in the gym
Okay.
after a few
Mm-hmm.
years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
How
just
do
like,
you feel when you go to the gym?
it wasn't even that, well, I feel proud of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I made it
Mm-hmm.
here. Sometimes I can feel a little bit like overwhelmed
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
When I went to Orange Theory and those kind of places, it's like you have this guidance. Um, and so I never feel like I go in there. My strategy is pretty much cardio. I focus very heavily on cardio when I go to the gym because I don't feel like weight training does much.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like I don't see it
Okay. I
like
feel you because
as
you're looking for weight
quickly.
loss, and if you're
Yeah.
weight training, you're gaining muscle.
Yeah, and it feels like I don't see it and like you can feel it like
Mm-hmm.
literally,
You can
but
feel
it's
it.
like I've done probably a million crunches in my lifetime and yet where's my six pack?
Mm-hmm.
Can't I'm
Mm-hmm.
like where's my six pack at? So sometimes for me it feels like going to the gym and working on weights or lifting weights
Mm-hmm.
is fruitless. Even though I know that it's not, it's just that it takes longer.
Hmm.
What do you focus on when you go to the gym?
Cardio,
Okay.
cardio, and weights.
Okay, well, that's everything.
Yes.
That's just about everything. I also, you know what? I think it's nice. Have you ever found anything that you do that's different? You know, like I say, like I dance, or I box. Do you do anything that's a little bit?
Because when I go to the gym, no, I'm in there to um, get them reps in.
You know what I think we need? I think we need community. You know, and not just
Mm-hmm.
our friends and family who look us up and down and tell us how fat we've gotten. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Has your family been helpful? Because I'll tell you, with mine, when I was, I used to be really small and really
Mhm.
skinny, like middle school and high school.
Never experienced that.
Well, I was always the smaller one, and my family is a lot of larger people, and so it'd always be like, when you gonna catch up with the rest of us? When you gonna put some meat on them bones? Like you skinny, and then I got bigger, and then people wanted to remind you, man, you done picked up some weight. Well, look, man, which one do you want? Do you want me to be bigger or do you want me to be smaller? Because either way, that's when I realized I stopped listening because I'm like,
Yeah.
either way, you were gonna have something to say.
They're definitely going to have something to say. And I think that's the difference between me and my early 20s
Mm-hmm.
when I started working out, which was I cared a lot about what people say,
Mm-hmm.
versus my late 20s is that I don't really care so much. Like you want to go, let's
Mm-hmm.
go toe for
Mm-hmm.
toe
Mm-hmm.
cuz you looking pretty heavy yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's turn that back on you, grandma. No.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, not
Auntie,
yeah.
how
Yeah.
about that,
Mm-hmm.
so I feel like taking things that people say in stride and finding and sometimes listening to it, because sometimes I feel like having somebody that's in your ear
Mm-hmm.
can be helpful,
Mm-hmm.
because maybe you go throughout life and you maybe don't notice something, because you notice in your own body, but sometimes a person nudging you a little bit, like, hey, just so
Right.
you know, you get a little hippie,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
maybe that could be helpful, but within reason. You don't have to tell me right before I'm about to eat my Thanksgiving dinner.
Right, right.
That's just
Like we're all
not.
here to eat. Like what am I supposed to do? Have a salad? Like we are here to eat. This is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there's a salad right here, but we know nobody is going to touch that.
Right. Not
That's just
not
here
today.
for presentation,
Yes.
okay?
Or that was the snack to hold you over until dinner was actually being served. Yeah, family can be tough.
Yeah, family can be a tough one to navigate, which is why I think it's important for both me and you to find community,
Mhm.
of people who get it,
Mhm.
and of people who work out and
Mhm.
exercise and even eating healthily. Like, and I had it with Weight Watchers. I went to the meetings really young. I started going in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that was fun. Like I actually I enjoyed it.
Mhm.
It wasn't even like a big deal for me. I liked it, and I had the books and I had the pencils and stuff like that. And now I do Noom, and you can still find community even like on Facebook.
Mhm.
You can find community in that capacity as well, because I think it helps to have, just like anything in life, like-minded people who understand something and who are experiencing it and who are living it together.
So even beyond community, the what I'm looking forward to, because we're gonna keep having shows about this, but I'm looking forward to talking to a dietitian. Because first of all, guys, we lose weight differently
Yeah.
than women do,
Faster.
faster. And so that's always like in the back of my mind was like, man, I could drop this, and I've done it.
Yeah.
I could drop this quickly.
But see, we're getting older. You
Correct,
know?
and your body changes.
Yeah.
But what I want to talk to them about is, so like for me, maybe it's not even always the food that I eat. And then we always think you can eat less, and that doesn't necessarily help you because then your
No.
body is you kind of
It's
go in
kind of storing the fat.
is storing the fat.
Yeah.
Because like today, for example, I've been up since 4 a.m. We're taping this as a little afternoon. I've been up at 4 a.m. I drove a school bus this morning,
Mm.
and during which I had a coffee
Mhm.
And then came here and taped an episode earlier today. So I've had um, this episode shall now be sponsored by Propel. So I had one of these, which you, as you notice, this is the water that is sweeter than the regular water.
Oh, I
Have you
did
never
not
had
know
these?
that. No, I've
I got these down at the little company kitchen down the hallway. Um,
sweeter.
it's
Does it have sugar in it?
well, it's
You got sugar water
no,
and you paid for it?
no, it contains no fruit juice,
Okay,
uh, calories per serving. So I'm doing this to say that I've been like conscious of what I eat.
nice, nice.
Um, calorie 0 calories per serving, zero fat. There is sodium, zero carbs, zero sugar. Um, but it's low calorie, um, and it's sweet. So I like these, and it gives you your electrolytes. And then the only other thing that I've eaten, um, is I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in between shows today. So I wonder what a dietitian, because so my wife hates that I do that because she's like, so you've been up, you've done a whole shift now at this point from 4 a.m. to noon is a whole shift,
Yeah.
and all you ate was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a coffee, and some water. Yeah,
Well, I think a peanut butter jelly sandwich would make you gain weight.
it's protein.
Well, peanut butter can make you gain weight though
Yeah.
if you eat it a lot, and then jelly has a lot of sugar in it, and then of course you got 2 slices of
Oh, I
bread.
didn't say I chose that because it was healthy. I chose
Yeah.
that because that's what was in the company kitchen thing down there. And I
But
hadn't eaten anything today, and I would pass out having talked to you by now. Especially after having that coffee, there's a crash at some point. So I
yeah,
would love to hear from a dietitian. One, with the crazy schedule, especially like the one that I have.
yeah,
What should I eat now? Because
yeah.
I've done tape shows today.
Hmm.
Got a bus to drive this afternoon. I need to eat something
Yeah, and sometimes on the go.
on
I
the
used to have
exactly.
those little "Eat This Not Now" books,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like yellow and blue, and it would tell you what you can eat at different restaurants and different places and
What's it
different.
called?
It's like "Eat This Not That."
Okay.
And so it would tell you what you can eat from. So you could go to a place, say, let's just say Dairy Queen,
Mm-hmm.
and it would tell you you could eat the ice cream, but instead of getting the cookie jar blizzard with the extra hot fudge drizzled in peanuts
Mm-hmm.
and a size large, with bananas on the side and
Mm-hmm.
strawberry topping, instead of getting that, get a small vanilla ice cream cone with sprinkles.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would tell you something in that capacity. So you can still have
Mm-hmm.
those treats and those sweet things, especially because that is really the more realistic way to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that I really really like to eat is Chipotle and Qdoba. I love a lot of like Latin
Mm-hmm.
inspired food because it's easy to eat without making me feel like I'm on a diet.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like say soul food,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it feels like you could still
If
eat it,
but it feels heavy.
but when if you try to go on a diet with it, it feels like you've taken away something.
Yes, you've taken a step back.
Yeah, like it's not as fun. Whereas like, you could have like a burrito bowl
Mm-hmm.
and maybe X or don't have as much rice, and you can have some beans and some chicken.
Mm-hmm.
In my former life, back when I was in that weight loss, like serious weight loss world, I'm a certified nutrition coach.
Are
And
you?
yeah, yeah, I didn't renew my technically I didn't renew my like license,
Why not?
you had to pay money. And
Oh.
it wasn't my field of, it wasn't I just did it for me
Mm-hmm.
because I was so ingrained in this world, and I always just wanted to know how can I do it better and how can I be better. And it's been all these years and I'm still asking myself that same question. So I'm still searching for the answer. And I don't know that it's in a nutrition book. I don't know that it's in
Mm-hmm.
a gym fitness studio either. Maybe it's in me. Maybe I just have to dig deep. But then that brings up another question about motivation
Mm-hmm.
and about how do you get motivation
Well,
and
I
how
mean,
do you
what is your motivation?
Well, I would literally listen to motivation when I was in the gym. I would quite literally listen to, say, like Eric Thomas, if you
Hmm.
know who that
I
is,
do not.
and like Iyanla Van Zant. Like, you have people like yelling in your ear, like, "Go, you're a warrior. You can do this. You can make it." Like, I would literally listen to stuff like that because
Hmm.
it's like it does something to me. Like, it helps to push me faster and be better, and so that's what I did to motivate
Hmm.
me. What do you do to motivate you?
Um. Well, again, being being on TV. Every time I look, I
Yeah.
can look at myself. Like right now, I can look like "Ooh, a little,
Yeah.
you know. And then the suits, um, carrying my
Okay.
child that is
That's a new motivation.
yes, but also staying in shape to be able to carry him because that's a big boy. He's one.
That's hard.
He's about to be one, but
Yeah.
he's like the size of a 2 year old. Not because he's fat, but
Mhm.
because he is a large
Mhm.
child. I think he gets that from my father-in-law. But he's
Well,
solid.
soon enough, he's gonna be running
Oh,
around
he already is.
everywhere, and that's gonna be
We're
way more
we're already
working
doing
out.
that, but just the motivation to keep up.
Oh
I
yeah,
got to keep up with that.
yeah,
So right now, and we're out of that stage now because he can crawl and he's trying to walk and all that. So my man is on the move. So I've got to be able to keep up because
yeah.
kids are quiet. And we're like, it's a little too quiet. Where you at? So you got to be able to get up and move
Yeah,
quick to find out
yeah.
where they are.
You got
So
to keep that motivation up daily.
yes,
You
so
know.
that is what motivates me to lose weight. So I can keep up with Junior here.
Yeah, and so I heard it said that because sometimes people will they'll be like run out of motivation,
Hmm.
and I've heard it said that motivation is like a shower. You need to take one daily. You need to
Hmm.
have it daily. You need to use it daily. You need to get it
Okay,
daily
that's a word.
because that willpower alone sometimes it doesn't do it, but you have to replenish it.
Mhm.
And so yours is Junior,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
and mine is showing up the best way that I can for myself and for everything that I do on a daily basis. And so,
Um so we talked about the small victories.
yeah.
Um we've talked about the differences in um doing it the food way, the dietitian way.
Mm-hmm.
You've done the orange theory, so the physical
Sure.
way. But we really didn't talk too much about what you started the show off with, which is what you're on now, which is the medical way
Yeah, the
with the
shots.
shots.
Yeah. So that became, I think it was last year
Mhm.
that became a big deal. We
Yep.
saw Oprah. She's like
Mhm.
a size 6. She's
Mhm.
tiny, and
Mhm.
Oprah's just like, I feel like she's just like all of us. She's
Yes.
been in this fight. She was on Weight Watchers
Yes, she's
too.
been everything.
And she's done it, for a long time, and so she had like a expose or what have you on TV,
Mhm.
where she had an interview and with all these people, and she kind of left Weight Watchers alone. Once she got that shot, she was just like not doing it as much anymore. And so what she used to do, what she started doing, and what she probably still does, is use Wegovy.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, you know what? If I was nervous at first,
Mhm.
I had a little bit of reservation because it's a new drug. We don't hear a lot about it in like we haven't heard a lot about people's side effects and what's going on with Wegovy.
Mhm.
But I was like, you know what? Let's try it. Let's go for it. Like, why not? Like, if they're saying that this is something, and I thought about it like a whole lot of other things. Like, if you were struggling with something else and the doctor suggested a medicine for you, you would just take it. You
Mhm.
would you wouldn't, if you were struggling, you wouldn't ask all these questions about it. You would say the doctor suggests this, and this is what I'm going to use. And so when Oprah suggested it, I was like, you know what? Maybe this is something that my doctor already knows. Every 6 months, she sees that my weight is going up, so maybe I should go and see about Wegovy. And I started on Wegovy,
Mhm.
and I didn't really have much success with it. I had a little like stomach issues.
Okay.
Not like
A-
bad, nothing
As
that I couldn't lift, nothing
hmm
you couldn't manage.
was that
Just
part of the
like
process that
in
your stomach is gonna hurt?
um that yeah, that has been some people have said they felt like st- I wouldn't even say stomach cramps, but a little just kind of like if you ate something that
Okay.
may not have been the best.
Discomfort,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
just
not
a little.
making you go to the restroom.
Yeah,
It does.
it does.
Okay.
It does. It does. But I wasn't having much success on Wegovy, and it was so hard at the time. Last year, it was so hard to find Wegovy. It was so hard to get it, and then I was just like, you know what? After doing it for a few months, I hadn't lost any weight really. Um, and it was money out of my pocket. It was insurance dilemmas. It was approval issues. It was, which it did get approved, but then it got rejected. And then you had to approve it at every increment. So
Mm-hmm.
it goes up to say it might start at 1 and then it goes to 2. I think their increments are like 2.5 and 5 and so forth like that. But it goes up in increments, or I should say dosage.
Mm-hmm.
And so because it goes up in the dosage, every time that it goes up, you have to get approved for that. And so it was just at this
Like
time,
insurance approved?
yes. And so it was just a headache. It was just super hard. And then I went to Walgreens, I went to CVS, I was going to all these drugstores.
So
They didn't
as you
have it.
lose weight, it gets more expensive.
Yes. Yes.
Ain't that
Because
something?
because you're going up in dosage. And
Mm-hmm.
so the not by much, but yes, ultimately, it is getting more expensive. It's hard to find, and I'm calling up pharmacies, and the doctor was like, this is harder to find than gold right now. Like this is it's just what everybody wants. This is a new thing, and I was like, well, do you guys know when you can get it? Can you put me on a wait list or da da da? And they were like, no, there is no wait list. It's just first come first serve. And I was just like, ah, and so
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, I'm not having success with Wegovy. It's not working for me, and it was sad. But that's when my doctor tried to get Mongiarno, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that didn't work. You needed to be like a diabetic or what have you, have a different type of struggle for that. And so I was just like, well, that's fine. And then she tried Zepbound. And Zepbound, which was a weight loss medication, did work. And it is when I started to see real success, real weight loss, real pounds come off. It wasn't real fast, but weight did come off and weight has come off and it's also stayed off. And I tell you, like, because I had lost about 10 pounds on my own, but I've lost approximately 40 pounds from the shot itself. There have been some things that I've done um, throughout that have helped, but I have to say that the shot has done its own form of heavy lifting, and Zepbound was more effective for me than Wegovy was. And it's just a once a week shot.
Mm-hmm.
I
Is it
think
painful?
that no,
Okay.
it's something that you have to get used to because I wasn't used to that,
And
and
where's the shot go?
you could put it in your stomach.
Okay.
They say you could put it in your arm, but if you put it in your arm, it's supposed to be somebody else. So I've never put it in my arm.
Mm-hmm.
You could also put it in your leg, like your thigh. But for me, it's just has been easiest to just insert it into my stomach, and that has been the easiest thing for me to do. Because when I put it into my leg, it kind of hurt a little bit. I don't know why. But it was just easier into
Mm-hmm.
my stomach. And so I do that. I do it every week. The dosage also goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Um it maybe takes like just so you can get used to it. That I did have some digestive issues with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Namely if I ate like spicy foods.
Okay.
So like there were specific foods that I feel like triggered it and just made you go to the bathroom anymore. For me, it hasn't been anything like volatile. I feel like the most volatile part of it for me has been the shame that people associate with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really the shame that I have because this is my insurance and this is my money and this is my time and I can do something and I'm an adult and I can get it and I can pay for it and it's fine by me and it's something that like I want and it's doctor approved. But if you go to social media, I mean, there is a lot that
Yes.
people will say about using a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is a lot that people will say, and they will say that you're lazy, you don't try, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I've tried every gym under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone to the YMCA, I've gone to Planet Fitness, I've gone to Lifetime Fitness, I've gone to where do we have any more gyms? How many more clothing items? I've done a lot of stuff. This is the one thing that I haven't done, and this is the one thing that I haven't tried. And this is the one thing that has also produced change for me.
Mm-hmm.
Real change in real time. Now, I do still think that, and this is the other thing, I feel like there's this myth that you just lose weight by taking the shots, but that's not true. You don't just lose weight by taking the shot in and of itself. The shot helps to curb your appetite, but you could still overeat just as you do without a shot. And if you do that, then you're going to gain weight or you're going to be steady. And so I think that
So you
there's a
basically still
lot.
have to diet. You still have to diet.
You still have to be mindful. I think just like mindful eating. I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel that it's as I will say this. I don't feel like it's as heavy
Okay.
like or as hard as being off the shot. Um, but I do. You still have to do your part. You still are supposed to diet, and you're still supposed to exercise. And I think when you now, when you diet, you exercise, and you have the the weight loss juice that really equals a success. And for me, like I'm happy about it because I mean this is what if you read I read a lot of books and watched a lot of DVDs, the Leslie Sansone, the turbo boxing, all of that kind of stuff, the insanity, did all that stuff over the years. And over the years, Cameron, they would say there is no magic juice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it may not be a magic juice, but it is something that helps us to lose weight. It is something that helps us to reduce our appetite, to curb our appetite. And it is something that I'm grateful for and that has helped me. And it's something that, if you have the ability to get it, Set Bound for me costs more money than Wegovy. But I think if you have the capacity to get it, I mean, why not? Would you
Well,
do it?
I'm not opposed. Um, I think for me, shot or no shot, I still would have to figure out the food thing.
Sure.
Um, and maybe it's not what I eat again, but it's how much I eat, when I eat.
But you can eat a lot. You can eat a whole lot if you're eating, certain foods.
Right.
So
But
that's a
like right now, as we're about to run out of time,
mhm.
what am I about to eat now? I mean, I used to do a lot of Subway chopped salads, and you make that face about Subway. But I was doing a lot of chopped salads. So
Okay,
salad's a
salad's
salad.
not bad.
No,
That's
the
not bad,
salad's a salad.
you
And I
know.
wasn't doing nothing crazy with it, but
Mhm.
I was making me a nice, good chopped salad. Um, but finding healthy foods on the go, like, cause when I leave here, I'm gonna have me a little time to woosah, and I
Mhm.
like to have me I could have me a nice little meal there while I sit, but I'm gonna do it from inside, sitting inside my bus, and I want a healthy meal. It's like,
Yeah.
what do I get? But you giving me some lip about Subway,
Because
so
you gotta be careful. The next thing you know, you add a bag of chips, you
no, I'm
add
good. I'm good
you add
about
a
not doing that.
cookie, you add
Now,
the
occasionally though, I do need the cookie.
you add the bun of the sandwich or whatever if you're having that, the
Hmm.
toasted bun. I haven't been to Subway in so long. But I just think you gotta be it's just like anything else,
That and you got Jimmy John's right across the street from here.
That's worse. Do they even have the option of salad?
No, which is
Okay.
why I would go to Subway and get a chopped salad. So look, we're going to continue to talk about this. So we want to talk to a dietitian, a personal trainer,
Sure.
and someone who knows about the shots.
Absolutely.
So because we've dabbled into everything,
Mm-hmm.
so we got to find some facts and some figures
For
about
sure.
each thing. So for me, I want to learn about the dietitian, just eating, if it's eating better, or is it times that I eat, or is it better to eat certain foods at a certain time? Like I want to know all those
We need
things.
help.
Yeah, we need help. We need help because we've lost weight, but I'm gonna do it
And we've
again.
gained it.
Yes. And I wouldn't even say I know exactly how I gained it back. Like I said, she was
Yeah.
eating, so I was eating.
Well,
So
that's
hey, but just on a day to day dieting, when you're working out, how do you also eat right? That's what I want to know.
yeah.
What do you want to know?
I want to know about the working out piece.
Okay.
And maybe we need to throw somebody else in here, the motivation piece,
Okay.
um, as well too.
Okay. I
And
like it.
so for me, I have a little bit of debate in terms of the motivation and the working out piece.
Okay.
Because I'm so cardio focused, but maybe I need to get more weightlifting in too.
Okay. We have a series coming up then.
We got a series coming
Okay.
up.
All right.
A weight loss series.
Yes, yes. Just in time for Thanksgiving, where
Yeah.
we're gonna pig out and eat up all the food. That's gonna do it for this edition of Fox 59 tonight, featuring the deep dive with Deja Studdard. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Make sure you download our app and talk to me on the radio Sunday mornings on WTLC and Hot 100.9 and see all of the fantastic writing that Deja is doing on Fox59.com. We'll see you next time